back to another video from The Power of Awareness. Today's chapter is chapter 21, Free Will. The question is often asked, what should be done between the assumption of the wish fulfilled and its realization? Nothing. It is the delusion that other than assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you can do anything to aid the realization of your desire. You think that you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing. The illusion of free will to do is but ignorance of the law of assumption, upon which all action is based. Everything happens automatically. All that befalls you, all that is done by you, happens. Your assumptions, conscious or unconscious, direct all thought and action to their fulfillment. To understand the law of assumption, to be convinced of its truth, means getting rid of all the illusions about free will to act. Free will actually means freedom to select any idea you desire. By assuming that idea already to be a fact is converted into reality. Beyond that, free will ends and everything happens in harmony with the concept assumed. What is he saying here? Why is this important? What he's saying here is something that really gets past most people when they start thinking about this idea. They start thinking about this idea that if they assume themselves to be capable of something, they immediately, once it solidifies, they can force themselves into action. So like, I believe that, this video is going to go viral. Immediately I start filming this video right after that, and immediately it's just going to work like magic. That's not how it is. It's only when we solidify ourselves and the work becomes unconscious. It's only when we solidify ourselves and we just start doing the things that a person that has that identity would. So if you want to be a millionaire, you believe yourself to be a millionaire, then you start coming up with millionaire ideas. They just pop into your head. It's not because you sat down and you were like, all right, now that I'm this, I can do this. Now that I'm this, I can do it. It's organic. It's unconscious. It's when it becomes second nature to you that these things will start happening. If you want to start eating healthier and you imagine yourself to be healthier, when you start saying like, okay, I'm gonna look like this, I'm gonna look through that, I'm meal prepping, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, like that's not really the work. That's not really the thing that's gonna solidify it. What's gonna solidify it is when unconsciously you don't have the same pulls to eat the junk food. When you're starving and you're driving by whatever fast food place you love and you don't stop in it. It's when it becomes unconscious. It's when it becomes the person that you are. This is this idea. I can of mine own self do nothing, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. In this quotation, the Father obviously refers to God. In an earlier chapter, God is defined as I am. Since creation is finished, the Father is never in a position of saying, I will be. In other words, everything exists, and the infinite I am consciousness can speak only in the present tense. Not my will, but thine be done. I will be, I am a confession that I am not. The Father's will is always I am. Until you realize that you are the Father, there is only one I am, and your infinite self is that I am. Your will is always I will be. In the law of assumption, your consciousness of being is the Father's will. The mere wish without the consciousness is the my will. This great quotation, so little understood, is a perfect statement of the law of assumption. Okay, that was a very deep thing. This is something that really, when you talk about this idea, is going to go past most people's heads. But what is he saying here is simply what you define yourself to be, who you accept yourself to be, who you call yourself, who you project yourself into the world, is who you become. The only thing you can change is your assumption of self. The only thing you can change is who you believe yourself to be, and all results follow. It's really that simple, but most of us say, I am not this, I am not that. Guess what? We confirm it. When you say you're not good enough for something, guess what? You confirm it. When you say you're good enough for something, even if it doesn't come right away, once it becomes solidified, once it becomes solid, then at least you have the possibility. Then at least you have the hope of doing something. But when you say, I am never going to be able to do this, guess what? You just confirmed it that you will never achieve whatever it is that you sought out. If you have a different concept of yourself, everything would be different. You are what you are, so everything is as it is. The event which you observe are determined by the concept you have of yourself. If you change the concept of yourself, the events ahead of you in time are altered. But thus altered, they form again in a deterministic sequence starting from the moment of this changed concept. You are a being with powers of intervention which enable you, by a change of consciousness, to alter the course of observed events, in fact, to change your future. Okay, I'm not really going to read the rest of the chapter. I might read a few quotes, a few of the headlines of each paragraph, but I think an idea that is being hinted at that he's not saying, I've heard him say it in other works, and this is one of my favorite ideas by Neville Goddard. It's the idea that who you are today does not have to be who you are in the future. Like your future, your destiny, it's set in stone right now. But it's set in stone because you assume yourself to be this person. The moment your destiny is not written in stone anymore, the moment you change your future is the moment you change your I am, who you accept yourself to be. Everything you're experiencing is based off of your current I am, the current person that you project in the world, the current person that you accept. When you begin to change the script, when you begin to change who you believe yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be capable of being in the same room as, be able to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Like when you start changing these ideas about yourself, then you start changing your future. But until you do these things, you will forever be the same. You will forever fall short. You will forever say, why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? I don't know about this. I don't know about that. Like it's only when you accept that you already have it, that you're already worthy of it, that you're already capable of it, that you start to move like a person that is capable of it. You win by assumption what you can never win by force. An assumption is a certain motion of consciousness. This motion, like all motion, exercises an influence on the surrounding substance, causing it to take shape of, echo, and reflect the assumption. A change of fortune is a new direction and outlook, merely a change in the arrangement of the same mind, substance, consciousness. If you would change your life, you must begin at the very source, with your own basic concept of self. Outer change becoming part of organizations, political bodies, religious bodies is not enough. The cause goes deeper. The essential change must take place in yourself, in your own concept of yourself. You must assume that you are what you want to be and continue therein, for the reality of your assumption has its being in complete independence of objective fact, and will clothe itself in the flesh if you persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you know the assumption, it persisted and hardens into fact, that events which seem to the uninitiated mere accidents will be understood by you to be the logical and inevitable effects of your assumption. What is he saying here? Again, he's reiterating the fact that when you change yourself, when you start acting like someone different, when you assume yourself to be someone different, everything else will follow. The moment you convince yourself that you're someone different, the moment you start acting like them, the moment your actions start reflecting that of someone who is who you want to be. And the moment your unconscious actions, your uncontrolled actions, the things that are your habits, the things that you just do on a daily basis, shift from negative to positive, is the moment everything just uplifts. Like, for me, one of my worst habits is negative thinking. One of my worst habits is dwelling on things that I can't change. And simply by falling asleep in the state that everything is working out for me perfectly, helps me so much, because at the very least, I can spend my days thinking about positive ideas. I'm not dwelling in oh, I need to worry about this, but I need to worry about this, I need to worry about this, oh, I need to do this thing, oh, this is my responsibility, oh, this thing. Like, instead of pulling myself in 1,000 different directions, I can focus on the few things that are actually going to get me closer to where I want to be. And it's simply through assuming different states, assuming yourself to be someone that doesn't experience pain, doesn't experience suffering, doesn't experience anguish or fear or anxiety or dwells on the past. Like, when you start to accept these ideas, when you start to live in a reality where things are working out, that is when everything begins to shift. Because in Robert Anton Wilson's book, Prometheus Rising, he says this great point, and it's something I want to reiterate, and it's something I really want to explore in another video. But basically what I want to say is, what the thinker thinks, the prover proves. Whatever you think, your mind will bend over backwards to prove. Whatever it is that you accept, whatever idea that you cling on to, that you hold on to, your mind will start to observe all of these patterns that confirm it. So let it be confirming something good. Let it be confirming something positive. Let it be confirming that you are actively getting to the state that you want to be, that you are actively making steps, making changes, taking the necessary things and changing them in your life so that you can start living and accepting yourself as a new person. Because the moment you start accepting yourself as a new person, the moment the world starts to treat you that way. Most of communication is nonverbal. Most of what you get out of life is determined by how you carry yourself, by the little subtle signs that we all pick up on. And if you need an example of this, the best one is you walk into a room all depressed, all like this, and your body language is terrible. People are going to treat you worse than if your neck was back, your shoulders are up high, you're smiling, you're confident, you're relaxed posture. You're just going to get more respect. People are going to give you more responsibility, and it's the same with the rest of your life. The way you carry yourself, the way you view yourself, shapes how others treat you, shapes how the world treats you. So make sure it's a good one. Make sure that the thing that you're projecting into this world is the positive and fulfilled one that you really want. That's pretty much the end of the chapter. I'll read the last paragraph because he always ends on a great note, but that's really all I got to say on this. The important thing to bear in mind is that you have infinite free will in choosing your assumptions, but no power to determine conditions and events. You can create nothing, but your assumption determines what portion of creation you will experience. You can only control how you view things. You can only control the things you choose to accept about yourself, and everything else follows. Like I said, choose to view yourself as a successful person. Choose to view yourself that you can already do whatever that you want to do, and that is the first step. I love you guys so much. Please, please, please pick up this book, and if you want the rest of my breakdowns, it'll be linked in the playlist at the end of this. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. If you want more from me, join my Discord. If you want my own writings, go ahead and join my community. It's linked there. That's really just where I express myself in the written form. It's a cool thing to check out, and I really want you guys to see that, because my writings are probably my favorite part of doing this, and being able to share it with you guys is really cool as well. Peace out.